Can your boss legally make you come back to the office? Well, Uber says they can, but what does that mean for you, especially if you're the first in your family to work in corporate America? Well, this video could save your job, or at the very least, it could help you know when and how to walk away. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Valerie Hale, your favorite lawyer mom, here to break down what return to office orders mean, legally, practically, and especially for first-generation professionals who may not have mentors or moms who are lawyers to help guide them through some of the trappings of the workplace culture these days. Now, you may or may not have heard, but recently, Uber announced that starting in June, employees must return to the office at least 3 days a week, essentially telling employees that they have to work Tuesday through Thursday. It's part of a growing trend where big companies are rolling back work-from-home privileges. If you're unsure about your rights or how to respond, I assure you you're not alone. But I can assure you that you're in the right place. Let's break down what the law says. In most states, your job is at will, which means your employer can change the terms of your employment at will, like requiring you to work on site, unless, of course, you have a specific employment contract or union protection that says otherwise. Now, here's the thing. If you were hired remotely but never received a written agreement guaranteeing remote work, legally, the company can ask you to return to the office. May not like it, but that's the law. And if you're thinking, wait a minute, isn't this a right to work state? Probably. But remember, that just means you can't be forced to join a union. It doesn't protect you from employment decisions, like changing your work location. We're going to talk about right to work in a future video. So, first-generation professionals, right now I want you to lean in and listen up because you need to know why this matters to you long term. The first thing is your reputation is your currency. How you respond to policy shifts will shape your professional brand, and that is so important. Are you seen as adaptable, a problem solver, or are you seen as someone who resists change and becomes a problem? Your network is your safety net. So leaving a job on bad terms can hurt your future options. As a first-generation professional, protecting your relationships and your reputation is part of building long-term career stability, which is so important. I recently coached a client. This was after she created this mess, who resisted the return to office mandate. She did it loudly, and she did it on Slack of all places. There was nothing wrong with wanting flexibility, but her tone cost her 2 internal references when she applied for a promotion later. And of course, she didn't get the job. The issue wasn't what she said, it was how and where she said it. And keep this in mind. Opportunities hide in discomfort, which reminds me of one of my favorite scriptures. Sweet is the bread of adversity. Because sometimes that shift, that change that you see as a setback, like returning to the office, could really lead to unplanned things like mentorships and promotions and those wonderful assignments that you otherwise would not have received while working remotely. Some of you may be asking right now, what can I do? Well, if you're facing a return to office policy or mandate, here are some things I think you should consider. Just options, but I think you should consider it. How about this? Comply. Comply with the policy. Show that you're adaptable. Believe it or not, your willingness may be remembered when new opportunities arise. And at worst, it buys you some time to make a strategic decision regarding your future, not one made in haste or anger. You may want to consider requesting an accommodation. If you have health issues, or if you are a caregiver or have caregiving responsibilities, There are laws like the ADA and the FMLA that may protect you. So consider those. And you may also want to seek internal transfers. Look for roles that are hybrid friendly or remote by design, like writing or data entry or even compliance. Finally, explore new opportunities if you have to. If the culture no longer fits, use your experience, not your tone, but your experience as leverage. Remember, leaving a job shouldn't be a failure. It should be a strategy. You can always leave, but do it professionally. And if you're thinking about pushing back or negotiating a remote status, even though they've asked you to come back into the office, that's okay. But just stay professional. Rants or walkouts, they may feel good in the short term, but they can follow you. They will follow you. One employee was even arrested after refusing to leave during a dispute over RTO. Don't let that be your story. Protect your reputation, because your response today becomes your story tomorrow. Stay gracious, even in the transition, a transition you don't even like. Stay gracious. Then think long term. If you need to go, and you may need to go gracefully. Your future self will thank you. Your children may even thank you. You don't want to be the one having to explain to your kids why your face is the poster child for when keeping it real goes wrong. I just really want you to own your journey. Just own your journey. Wherever it goes, own it. Workplace changes can be hard. I recognize that, especially when you don't have a blueprint. But first-generation professionals are built for resilience. I should know. I'm one of you. So take a breath and begin to understand what your rights are, weigh your options, and then make intentional, strategic choices that support both your career goals and your peace. Thank you for watching, and drop your questions in the comments section, especially if you're a first-generation professional trying to figure this all out. I review those comments and I consider them as I produce future videos. Also, like, subscribe, and share. You may know someone who needs to hear this. I'm Valerie Hale, your mom the lawyer, walking you through workplace challenges with legal clarity, faith, and intentionality. See you next time when I'll cover another workplace challenge right here on My Mom the Lawyer.